Hello and welcome back to the PSISTORM Esports Network. I'm your host Chickenman here for your weekly esports results and highlights. This episode we've got the final teams qualified for Worlds, the Overwatch League Season 4 and the ESL Pro League Season 14. So let's get into it. We have had many months with tons of league content to cover every week, but unfortunately that's coming to a close now as Worlds is just around the corner. We have the final qualified teams for the big event. Over in the Turkish Champions League, after resounding first place in the group stage, it was no surprise to see Galatasaray Esports winning the whole thing and claiming their spot at Worlds.
Esports fena oynamıyor gibi buraya mı arkada bilekleri? Son anda düşecek. Öncesinde yalnız Lee'sini aradan çıkarttılar. Jace de burada sıraya giriyor. Zergsting yine çok az bir can ama hayatta giyiyor. Şimdi Bollu ile birebir içerisinde ultiyle beraber çıkacak. Hayır. Nereye gidiyorsun dedi. Kozmik bağ attı ensesine. Galatasaray 2021 TBF'ye galibiyetle başlıyor.
In Brazil, the Campeonato Brasileiro finished up with the Red Canids taking down Rensga Esports in the finals.
Gigo vai pra frente, já acerta agora o Chiari, acertou também o Yuri por ali, pode ser eliminado, já utiliza o seu zona, ganha um pouco mais de espaço, no já é eliminado. O Yuri cai logo na sequência, é GG, o fim de jogo vem se aproximando, a vitória é certa, a equipe da Red vem pro título, pra eles garantirem, Nexus exposto, e a Red Canids é campeão do CBLOL 2021! É isso aí.
In Japan, it was Detonation Focus Me crushing the finals 3-0 for the LJL's World Seed.
ヒールあったんですが、ソウル
見えなかったですかね。
そのようですね。さらにはスネア、またスティールがそれに合わせて突っ込んで次期乱流でなんとか守ろうとしているものの守れません。アリアにヘクステックアルティメイタム、ただゾネがありました。時間をしっかりと作って最後はエビのメガナーではちゃめちゃを逃すことなくエース獲得でデトネーションをかすみ。
Edward Gaming took down FunPlus Phoenix in the finals of China's LPL for that qualification spot.
Possible. Scout trying to move on in. Tien jumps into the pit, but he's already gone down the barrel, taken by EDG, and they look for the fight as well. Do and B will fall in the midst of enemies, and EDG push forward.
EDG go for the aggressive play. They find the pick. TPs are coming out to the end.
Flashes forwards again. He cannot be stopped now. The last ditch effort from FPX, but they're outnumbered. They don't have the damage. They are taken down.
And it's all done for FPX. EDG have done it. They've taken down the Phoenix.
And finally, the LCK had a regional finals to find their final two qualifying teams. Team 1 and Hanwha Life Esports both got the coveted spot at Worlds.
The game ends. Faker's gonna survive. Gumayusi will as well. And Willer's all alone up against Zoner. He's trying to get resets, but down he will go. And now T1 might have just broken the game and taken it for themselves.
Yeah, there's an inhibitor turret down. They could just push mid here. Huge overextension, and that might just be how this best of 5 ends. As you say, 30 seconds on Chovy and Willer. Depth's up in 14. He's the one to get picked before it all. Morgan has to buy time here. There is a wave coming through for Hanwha Life Esports.
And Morgan on the Renekton.
See what he can do.
Trying to clear the wave. He has the Gore Drinker, and he will stay alive. And we got respawns coming in here, but
Vista just dies.
The call is to just take down the Nexus, and it looks like T1 will, in fact, secure the...
We're still not sure where the big tournament is going to be held at, but regardless, I'm confident it's going to be a fantastic event. There was one event this week as well that wasn't related to Worlds. The European Masters Summer continued working through their group stage this week.
Leon. That's going to be an ult pop by Taxa, though the rest of his team, the Realm Warp comes through. Rolf shot on the sideline, Phantomless now, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and gets bopped by the club from Taxa. Leon now will get caught out by the Cyclone, will eventually pop that Unbreakable Will, but it doesn't matter because the rest of his team is ready to follow up. It'll be a nice pickup for Madly, and honestly, it's playing with your food at this point if you're tricked.
That event will continue for the next couple weeks, which is good since we won't have much league content for a while. Let's move on now to what little Dota we have this week. The I-League finished up with Team Aster and Vici Gaming fighting it out in the finals.
That is the last clip that they have.
They say they are going to fight in the beach, they're gonna fight in the fields, but the last thing they will do is to surrender in this game. But however, they can't stand the power, the item gap, and also the level gap between the two are just too much. And also Borax keep hooking people like a bitch. Oh my goodness, forcing them go back to the fountain. 11 just gonna fall back. Oh, dodge again, come on. I'm gonna show you my fancy footwork, but however, you can't dodge from Sinister Gates, and it's a JJ call. Aster is your I-League 2021 Season 2 champion, beating Team VG Gaming in the Grand Finals 3-1.
Team Aster taking the 3-1 victory there. We also had the Dota 2 Champions League continue through its group stage.
Чтобы Морфа еще сильнее поддушить.
Ларинова очень скоро будет. Так, Тед Хантер запрыгивает, Рэвидж неплохо, Омника пытается убить первым, Омни Найт успевает подрубить Guardian Angel, и Морф отправляется в таверну без байбека, фокусит Void Spirit. Void Spirit вроде бы уходит, но не уходит Свен, да и...
Not a very big week for Dota, but we're less than a month away from the biggest internationally yet. And with how much it's been pushed back, I think the teams are going to be chomping at the bit for a chance to win the big show. Next up, let's check out this week's Counter-Strike action, starting with the ESL Pro League, where the group stage is finished and the playoffs are all set to begin this coming week.
Esports space. But here, this round is not done yet, and neither is this game, so I guess we'll focus back to it, as XNS is going to be able to trade out with Lackey once again, and leaving this one in a fairly advantageous situation now as Maluk catches Elian. So Nickelback and Forrester with it all to do. That's a good first shot, and also dropping the bomb, so that's all the information that Nickelback needs, as he now gets the flashbang high in the sky for 1, 2, and 3. Finally, Forrester to clean up the round, but that's all on Nickelback. What a great performance from the in-game leader.
On a related note, the ESEA kept on working through group stages in all 3 regions. We've got some of those highlights for you right now.
Playing anti-flash. Very risky here, actually. He's got no teammates backing him up. Flashbang thrown out, and in the end, Mr. Sharky will punish Swanky for that. Walk shot rings out. Zep's being tagged up. JK stops the ball from being planted. JK's again. And it's just Big Heath left in a 1v3. Has to recover that bomb. JKaz will deny it, and it'll be a 2-0 win to Bandits. And I've got to say there, like, I did not expect Bandits to win Vertigo after this.
Utility dumped down Banana by Blink. They know they've got all the advantages in the world, and they're looking to pressure them here. One Flatro with the first through the smoke. Soulfly is found by Seneri. They're thinning the numbers all too quickly. Paz desperately manages to claw one back, but it's GXX's shotgun that quickly finds the trade. And again, it's 2 Deagles against the world. Engine, the next on the chopping block. It's job done, ladies and gentlemen. Blink are your victors. 16-60.
A lot of utility being rained on out at the moment. Chopper on the corner. Oh, he's barely spotted there. He will be taken down at the end of the day. Marky's able to clean him up. Fang's good for 2, and this A-side aggression has been swiped away. In RBG's name, days were certainly numbered there, as it will be Wiz. Left into the 1v5 here. Up in his hand. We'll see if he can pull off a miracle. That's got to be what's required. JT closing in on his position. Slowly but surely. What do you got for us here, Wiz? A couple extra stats on the board is what he's going to be aiming for here at the moment. Can't even find that. Sonic to close. And extra salt. Look, so dominant.
We'll be covering all of the ESEA and ESL action, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. In other CSGO news, the European Development Champion finished up this week. K23 taking down Skade in the finals.
The others are gatekeepers towards the library and Arch. Kaluba, does he go for a swing? Ends up with 2 kills! Kaluba! You're just insane! Let me just salvage the round. Adren coming in, now trying to salvage things. You've got Fame as well, coming in from Pit. But Adren, he holds his ground again. Ships ends up falling. It's all down to Rainwaker in a corner on the site. And it seems like they know where he is. Fame will spray him down. And they give K23 the victory. Ladies and gentlemen, K23 are your EDC Season 5 Grand Champions.
The Pinnacle Fall Series finished up their Swiss stage and began the playoffs this week.
They need to clutch out the round. Furlan sitting that molly, trying to burn for as long as he can before he finds one. 37 HP remains on him, rolling around the corner in CT. Last piece of util that really matters in CT side, and now used as well. There's that flashbang, there's the swing, and last man as well, Rollin. What a way to end it.
We did have a bit of a lull in the Counter-Strike scene for a while. Glad to see that picking back up again. Meanwhile, over in Overwatch, the contenders continued playing in both Korea and Australia.
Supports in. They didn't find him in 3. They nearly had him there, but they're still going to get some resets in. The rally's going to be big. There's Belosria. I think they might just have it. Pulse Bomb has been named big. Cancels the remainder of the rally. Max has still got a decent amount of charge despite the reset that happened on Krillin's dead as well. Unique low, in trouble as Proper is all over him. I think that's enough to hang it on. No supports left for MN3. He is hung out to dry. They do find Max, even finding Proper. T1 are really going to have to earn it as Belosria comes in front of the round. Huge Dragon Strike to T-Mac and kill off Leston. Absolutely immense. Now, Merit does go down, but look at that, the last man standing.
Ground Zero, who are going to have their reinforcements here relatively fast.
I mean, that was Cashley dying early, so no window opportunity there. And then on top of it, Priest unfortunately finding nothing on the blade. First dash, finds no swings, 0 reset, gets a kill, and that ends up being it. Nothing else beyond that. Benji and KG now dropping ultimates. Starfire hasn't found a lot though.
He wasn't able to get the usual connections that we see, but Ask bites the dust nonetheless. And that means that everybody else here from the side of Ground Zero are open and free to do what they want, and nobody's touching the cart, Kev. That means that Ground Zero, they get the first 0-point lockout of Season 2 of Overwatch Contenders Australia.
Still plenty of matches left to go in those regions, but over in the Overwatch League, we're nearing the end of the final season, as 7 teams battled it out this week for the final 3 spots in the playoffs.
You see the high ground rotation, Hoppers on the high ground, Supercharger could be big here.
Mortality field already has to be used. Fitz manages to find 1. Marvel going to be taken down as Mono manages to find 2 kills. Carpe climbs up the wall, manages to find Fitz, domes him with the arrow, and the cart this whole time has been advancing forward. Gio has to drop down, but the kinetic grasp is not going to last, nor will any other member from the side of the Dynasty. The Philadelphia Fusion will push it through.
As the backline is gone, Assassin is just absolutely ripping through them.
Absolutely brutalizing the whole of the Outlaws here, and he's been kept immortal this entire time as well. He doesn't have those Brig armor packs to be able to work off, or a Harmony Orb, anything like that, but his team is supporting him so well, and the coordination with Fury is good.
Edging on and off here to Pulse Bomb, it's going to be a bit of a whiff. Still Natty overtime going. Is there anyone from the Outlaws who can keep this going? So much pressure, they're all being taken down low. Dodging in and out, weaving between the point, but with Dreamer falling, it's the last play that could really realistically touch. Decays in the back, the post bomb connects again, Crimzo, and if that doesn't seal the deal, I don't know what will. The coalescence ends, and so does the map. The Justice are going to Hawaii.
The San Francisco Shock, Washington Justice, and Philadelphia Fusion will be joining the rest of the top 8 as they fight for the $3.2 million prize pool starting in a couple weeks. Finally, we can move on to our final game, which as usual is Starcraft. The GSL Season 3 began their Code S group stage with groups A and B playing this week.
A remaking of the Robo here for SOS. He just, his army is just not that good here. Backs up to that battery. Battery doing a bit of work here. Runs out though.
Oh man, there's more infantry coming here. Again, if SOS loses this spot, it's over. One Colossus is not going to do the splash that he needs. That Archon is eventually picked off, and that's going to be it. Dream 2-0's SOS. GG.
And over in StarCraft Brood War, it was the ESL working on their group stage.
Taking this game and making it out of Group B in 2nd place, and best. This was not the showing he wanted after losing to Mini last season. Here we go, this is it. The Storms are fantastic. He just doesn't have any units.
Yeah, Hydralis is just moving left and right and dodging all the storm and picking up a couple of Hydralis, but there are more high temperatures that's coming out. Best's supply count is going low and low. Best steps out. 815 wins this game.
And that will close us out for today. A fairly short episode, but I guess every week can't be absolutely stacked, or it wouldn't feel quite as special when it was. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up, mash that subscribe button with all of your eGamer APM. As always, I've been the Chickenman here for the PSISTORM Esports Network, and I'll see you next time.